not treat any beings different from others. If you are with star seeds or with beings who you think may not be star seeds, love all equally. All are deserving of love.
Well, I guess what happens is it's kind of the other way around. But everyone I meet, I see the Christ in them, so I think they're starseed. And I'm beginning to suspect that everybody can't be starseed according to, how you explain the differences. I guess what I'm seeing is the Christ in them.
Yes, it is because you are experiencing the Christ in yourself. And you are seeing reflections of yourself. You are seeing that point within them that is that which you are. So this is an excellent way to view humanity, as embodying Christ. Mm-hmm. It is not altogether important for you to be able to distinguish. It is for us to distinguish. At a certain point we will make the distinction, you see. In the lifting and the evacuation, the starseeds will be returned. None will be left behind, even if they are not awakened. When you address human beings, address them as you see them, as beautiful divine beings. You need not know the difference, if there is one, between yourself and them. There is a difference between all beings. Even between the starseeds there are many different beings, you see. Mm-hmm. Many different points of origin and points of evolvement. Some are more crazy than others. Mm-hmm. So that is simply a way of speaking about this group that has chosen this particular service. It is not a way of putting one segment of the population above the other.
Yeah, that feels good.
It is a service fraternity, you might say. Sorority, also.
Sananda, last night I saw a movie called The Seven Seals, and my question is, it refers to the book, to part of the book of Revelation, and my question is, this breaking of the seven seals supposed to be literal or symbolic? And if it is, well, what is it? And how does the plan for Ascension fit in?
It is a way of describing one probable reality, one prophecy, you see, a way of describing the seals are broken. This is a milestone of experience, you see. It is a turning point or a milestone in the activation of the change that is taking place now. You will have to be a little more specific if you desire a specific information. I say for you to view it as a symbolic.
Okay, I guess my specific question is, will these particular events happen, or will the ascension come before the moon, the sun, whichever one it is, turns red in the sky and blood starts to flow in the waters, and a lot of people are dying? Will the first wave of ascension happen before cataclysms and all of this stuff come about?
Well, you see there are cataclysms occurring every day. And some of this has come to pass and more will come to pass. I would say for you, the first wave will most likely, it is our intention that it will occur before the major cataclysms. You must view these prophecies in the light that they were received as visions, so that if the blood is flowing in the water, it does not necessarily mean in the water in your yard. It could be the water in the Middle East. You see? So, also there are many descriptions of plagues of insects and this sort of thing, and other plagues, and those are occurring. The AIDS plague is one, and there are plagues of insects in other parts of the world. So many of these things are happening and that will happen. In fact, it is a very good possibility that the sun will turn red or appear to turn red. But it sounds all overpowering to you when you read it in this way. But in fact, you are living through it and you have not been harmed yet. So consider that you will be protected and you will be in the right place in the right time, and only those beings who have need of experiencing that intensity will experience it.
Thanks. I have another question. When I meditate, almost always I call on your presence to be there with me and ask for some definite sign or something personal from you to me that I know that you're there. I don't as yet feel any kind of sensation in my physical body. Just a real peacefulness in my heart. So I would like to know if, even though I can't pinpoint some physical thing that a lot of people who are channeling right now experience, can I know that you are still there?
I think you are looking in the wrong place for your signals, perhaps. Physical signals are just one way of getting your attention or contacting you. It is much more blissful to have a feeling of peace in your heart than it is to have someone tugging at your earlobe. So you may know for a fact that as you call upon me, I am with you. And I am honored that you do call upon me. If you have trouble feeling me, perhaps you could take note of the story that I told at the beginning of our talk this evening. Perhaps there are only one set of footprints. As you give yourself to meditation and to the relinquishing of old beliefs and thought patterns, as you open yourself up to the manifestation of your divinity, it will be easier and easier for us to shower you with our presence in ways that you can feel. So give yourself to the practice and do not be self-critical. Do not be looking for a potato when we are sitting there surrounding you with oranges. Not all channels receive physical signals. Some channels receive spiritual presence. In fact, this channel receives more of a spiritual presence than physical signals. So it is whatever you are open to, whatever you're best at receiving or feeling. If you would like to call upon me and ask for specifically a physical signal, I can perhaps work one up for you.
Okay.
But it will not feel as good as the peace in your heart. So focus in your meditation upon your breath or upon the inner light, and don't be overly concerned with the bodily sensations. If you focus upon that exclusively, give yourself to that with trust and faith, we will fill you up. Don't be distracted by waiting for something to occur in a certain way to fit your preconceived notions. Throw your notions away and simply give yourself to your own aliveness, to your own breath. And when you see the light in your forehead, just look at that, feel it. And when you feel the presence in your heart, just feel it and enjoy it. There are many, many sensations awaiting you. Many beautiful sensations.
I have a question about the first wave of Ascension. The information that I've gotten from the channelings is that at the time of the first Ascension will be lifted into the ships, and then the Ascension process will be completed in the ship. So I was wondering if you have technologies in the ships similar to what they talk about in the Green Books, the atomic accelerator chair. I'm just wondering about the process itself and if something like that is used to complete it.
Yes, it is similar to that.
So then everyone would have this kind of experience, sit in the atomic accelerator chair?
It will not necessarily be a chair, but it will be an energy field that you enter into.
And then this process doesn't take very long, is that correct? It just can be a few minutes?
Yes. It is very quick for those who are prepared. And it is very enjoyable.
And then once you go through this process, your vibratory rate cannot go back to what it was before. It will always stay at the higher rates. Is that right?
Have you been through one of those turnstiles at the subway that only go one way?
Yes.
It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an energy gate that you go into and you cannot go back.
Mm-hmm.
That is why it is your choice, and you are given that choice when you are in a state that is more enlightened, so that your choice can be coming from your true feelings of your heart. So this is how it will occur with most beings. There are always a few stray monkey wrenches in the works.
Okay, I have one more question. Is it alright to ask another question?
Of course.
Okay, this is a thinking process.
Let's have it known at this point that I enjoy your questions. You are all so serious. I am listening to you, saying that, they were very serious this evening. Well, I think it is because you are so serious. You can ask me anything. If you ask me something that I am uncomfortable with, I will not answer it. This is my free will.
Well, this is what I was wondering about is the information we were getting from Ariane is that no one will ever know when the first ascension wave will occur. And so I'm having a feeling it's sort of like when Jesus came to earth, like no one really knew, although some beings had an idea that he was coming, but they were waiting for a long time. They didn't know exactly when he was coming. So, are some people going to know when it's going to occur, just like the Magi knew or had some signs, or is it just going to be no one's really going to know? Because, some people say that the future is already here, that time is simultaneous, so that on some level the earth has ascended, or this is already happening. So anyway.
Yes, it has already happened at a certain point. It is inevitable. If you were to go forward in time, you would notice that the earth is ascended. Mm-hmm. As to the exact moment, that is the difficulty, you see, with pinpointing the exact moment in time and space when this occurs, for the variables are very much in effect and affecting this. So there will be many who think that they know when it is going to be. None of them know for sure, just as the Magi did not know for sure if they were going to find the Christ child by following their comet. They followed the signs, and they had a particular vision that told them that this would be an omen of the birth. But they did not know until they actually came in contact with that body, with that being, whether or not they were right or not. And so there are many who have ideas about certain times, and there are many times that have been given. I would say that even if you feel that you have a good guess, you can simply file that away and see, like the Magi, if you were right at the last minute. You will not know until the last minute whether you were right or not. So, it is true that no one knows for certain. The wise Magi's of the earth have perhaps a better clue than the rest of humanity. But even the wise Magi's leave room for error in their calculations. They knew perhaps that the Christ child would be born in the Middle East, in that area of the world, and that if they followed that particular comet, it would lead them in the correct direction. But they did not know how long they would have to travel, how many days it would take them to find that being, or in what exact location in the Middle East that being was, you see. So they were in the same predicament as you are. You are walking along the path, going in the right direction, following your signs and your miracles and your guidance, knowing that inevitably you will attain to that discovery that you seek, but you do not know if it will be in a week or in a month, or in a year or in several years. So keep going in the direction and let the predictions fall by the wayside, and you can place some side bets. Each of you may place your side bets. You could start a lottery. You could say, throw all of your jewelry into a basket and make your guess. And whoever gets the guess closest to the time gets the jewelry.
We won't hear by then.
Then the joke will be on you. It's something to occupy yourselves with while you are on your path, you see. You need not be so serious about it. You can have a good sense of humor over all the stray predictions and odd things that you hear from the New Age circles. At a certain point you become immune to them. And you know, well, I believed this once before and it didn't work, so I'm not going to put all my eggs in that basket again. One cosmic carrot is enough for anyone, I think. Other people are experiencing their cosmic carrots just as you were experiencing yours in the past. It had a definite purpose, you see. It served you very well. It started you on your path, and you are continuing to walk that path. And as you walk past others' predictions about the time, you can hand them a cosmic carrot. And if someone is right, you can take note of it in that brief moment before you dissolve into bliss. At that point, it will not mean much to you either. But you become more immune, and as you enjoy yourselves on the path, it becomes less important. It becomes more and more obvious to you that it will take place, and so the date becomes less and less important.
I'd like reassurance that it will in fact take place and it's not the ultimate cosmic carrot.
Ah, that thought has occurred to others also. Mm-hmm. It will take place. The cosmic carrots involve dates and times, this sort of thing. but the ascension of the planet Earth and of all of the beings upon the Earth having that opportunity. It will take place.
Thank you.
Madeline, could you give me some focus points, some words I can click on like a light switch? Me, unconditional love. I'm having a real problem with that. There's irritants, things that it's not people I deal with. It's not so much I judge them, but they get on my nerves lately, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's maybe I should isolate. Maybe I'm supposed to withdraw. And when I was here before, it was so easy. I mean, that just poured out, there's this need to give and so on. And lately, I just can't get that going again. I'm blocking it.
I think it is not so much blocking it as simply clearing emotional experience from the past. It is never the same experience twice in your daily life. You may have it one day, you may experience a great deal of ease with feeling love for all and seeing the Christ in everyone, while another day you may have maximum effort simply to refrain from yelling at them and screaming at them. It is because you are perceiving reflections externally of that which is being cleared within yourself. So chances are if someone is driving you crazy, it is because there is part of yourself that is coming through to be cleared, that is a reflection of that which you see. So I can say that you are on the right path, but you should not view yourself as doing something wrong if you are going through times like this, and not view that you are blocking it. This is the kind of thought that causes you to criticize and judge yourself. Mm-hmm. Perhaps it is necessary from time to time for you to nurture yourself in a way that is more of withdrawing, if it is something that you can do, practically speaking, in your life. Perhaps it is not going to always be the same. Perhaps there will be a time when you will find it more appealing to you to spend time alone meditating or with people that are on a spiritual path rather than others. It is that you are transforming. Your personality is somewhat altering. Your experience is definitely altering. So you cannot put yourself in the same mold or the same situation or personality that you once were. You need to allow that your eggshell is cracking a little bit. And at times you will feel more vulnerable. At times you will feel less in control than you used to be. You may feel a little bit more confused in certain ways in your energetic experience. All this is part of the path. All of this is the necessary clearing that you go through. So I would say for you to simply have a good sense of humor about it, and try not to express anger at someone in a way that is a release out of anger or hurting someone, but to allow yourself to release it in more therapeutic ways if it is required. Even the most peaceful person, when undergoing the ascension process, can become quite irate at times. One who has had years and years of meditation and has become what you might say a mellow individual. There are many mellow individuals in this room. Can have periods when anger will surface and emotions will come to the surface that have not been felt for a long time, perhaps that have never been felt. There are things that you are storing within you, each of you, not only from this life but from other lives. So that is why you need to love yourself unconditionally. That means not judging yourself because of your emotional or physical experience, but allowing it to roll off your back like a duck, you see. You need to feel certain things. You need to feel the emotions that you are releasing, but you do not need to take them in and absorb them into your personality and make judgments and criticisms about how terrible of a person you are. You simply need to feel the feeling of them as they are passing through and being released. So, unconditional love is a goal for you. Unconditional love is nothing that has been achieved by any one of you, but it is a goal. It is like a light at the end of your path that you use to steer by. It is like a star that you use to sail by, or like that comet that the Magi followed to get to their destination. It is that which you keep in mind as your goal and do your best, but knowing that you are within a limited reality, within the third dimension, and releasing much and undergoing a very, very intense process. So, does that help you at all?
Yes, thank you.
Love yourself. You deserve it. I would say unconditional love is best experienced when you can begin to experience unconditional love for yourself. That is the only way you will allow it to flow through to others. It is not easily achieved given everyone's past experience and programming. Everyone here can find certain things to dislike about themselves and ways to criticize themselves and feel that they are less or undeserving. It takes a great deal of surrender to open to this unconditional love. It is not that you have to perfect yourselves and release all of your negativities and angers and false beliefs before you are worthy of unconditional love. You are worthy of unconditional love in spite of the fact that you are imperfect. Or shall I say, you are in the illusion of being imperfect. So unconditional love can come to you even in the midst of your imperfections and in spite of them. Well, I think it is getting time for me to say good night. Let us do a little bit of meditation as we usually do. Everyone straightens up and stiffens up a little bit. Uh-oh, now we have to focus ourselves. Yes, it's part of the path, focusing your concentration. If you think about it long enough, you will have many laughs over all of the time you have spent in meditation, focusing upon your own breath. You may as well be looking at your own navel at times. There is a practice in India. It is a spiritual practice, a certain meditation where actually there are beings who sit and gaze at their own navel. And there are others who stand in the Ganges River on one leg, thinking if they can stand there long enough they will attain their salvation, their enlightenment. Many practices. So, also have a sense of humor about this. When you achieve enlightenment, the most humorous aspect is meditation is, why should one sit and focus upon their own breath at all? It is a very strange thing to do. Unfortunately, up until the point of enlightenment, it is the only thing to do. So there you have another paradox and another good reason to laugh at yourselves. And another thing to make it a little bit less serious for yourselves. If you are stiff in your meditation will be stiff. If you are relaxed and open and having a sense of humor and not judging yourself for straying from the focus, then you will be able to be flexible and receive for love and healing and the blessings that we have to share with you that are existing within you are very watery substances. They are not stiff at all. So that said, let's sit and focus upon our navels. Just breathe and relax, and we will assist you in whatever way is required by you this evening. If you have particular issues that you are dealing with, especially areas of faith, if you are being tested in any particular ways, I'm sure none of you can relate to this at all. I would suggest that you offer that up into the light. Offer it up to me, and I will focus my attention upon it in ways that can assist you We are here to serve you. We understand that you have much of processing underway at this time. And remember what we said in the past, ask for what you want. So now is your opportunity to ask for what you would like assistance with. So my friends, my dear brothers and sisters, I thank you for your attention. Before going, I would like to make a request of you. And the request is simple, that you care for one another, that you support one another. Try your best to cooperate in attaining your goal. Support one another in many ways, in whatever way that you can. As you love, you will receive 10,000 times the return on your investment. So I love you all, and I hope that it has been a pleasant evening for you, as it has been for me. When the movie of my story comes out, I will give you all free tickets. Good night.
Good night.